Hello polar bears!
Far underground. Being the capital of Norway. I'll put this on your bucket list. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Check out Malmö. Could still catch it. I'm about to go on an adventure of a lifetime to Svalbard, the northernmost town in the world, near the North Pole. Follow me on this crazy journey. I don't know what I'm about to experience. Let's go. We have Rummy.
Morning.
Now Rummy, he's going on adventures on the weekly.
Stay tuned.
Svalbard is an archipelago. I've definitely murdered that name. An island that sits in between Norway and the North Pole. This is an extreme habitat. Glaciers, fjords, breathtaking beauty. First, off to Oslo. The rest of the crew are here. Mr. Eliza Goldschmidt, take a bow, son. Hello, Norway. I don't know how you say it in Norwegian. Gotta rush now to get the train to central Oslo for the next stage of our adventure. Free bus from the airport to the train station, which is going to take us to Oslo. Beep, beep. Oslo, baby! What do you think of this place? Wow. Lovely, clean city. For some reason, every big city that has an opera house has to have some unique feature.
Thanks so much.
Well worth the climb for the view. When was this opera house built? Great talk. So Oslo, obviously being the capital of Norway, doesn't have the fjords, doesn't have the big mountains, rivers, and the natural kind of beauties on the same level as Bergen and everywhere on the west coast of the country, with all of the architecture here, with the buzz, the atmosphere, clearly make up for it. And the journey to our accommodation tonight. It's a lot of drama going on to try and find our fourth member who arrived on a separate flight and get on the bus. And Eliza here is not giving up. You can see, look at that. The bus is pulling up. We can still catch it. Run. But Avi is running. Nice to meet you, Avi. There you are. Oh, it's a good start to the trip.
Yeah, it's all Eliza's fault.
It is. We always blame Eliza. And
Do not make a fuss on this person. We're lucky to be on. Just keep it.
okay, I'll keep a low profile. And here we are in the middle of nowhere. This is where we are staying for the night. Opposite the airport with these small airplanes. Let's have a look. And here's the thing, because we all eat kosher, we need to set up our own George Foreman grill with our own meats that we brought in. Here we are. Avrumi is on the chefing.
We are hungry people.
Out of kitchen, please.
Thanks to Chef Avrumi. The game is up. Looks like we've been foiled. Do my morning prayers. Near a picture of the royal family, of course.
I was the first one to pray, not him, it was me.
We're all up and ready for this adventure to the northernmost town in the world. Let's see what the day brings us. Feel right at home. Look at that rain. We'll get a bus all the way around the airport. Now landed in Tromsø on a connecting flight to Svalbard. Well worth coming again just to be in this wonderful city, which is the best to see the northern lights. Very short layover. A window seat to Svalbard is essential. Now coming into land near Svalbard, and the darkness here is permanent at this time of year, all day. Glaciers underneath. It's just surreal, actually going to the Arctic.
Velkommen til Svalbard. Hello polar bears. Hi.
Middle of the Arctic Ocean, we have some amazing adventures. It's the famous sign here. How far are we away from London, I wonder? 3,043 miles, okay. polar bear sign. They're joking, right?
It's actually a campus.
Do you think it's actually to do with the fact that there's a sixth of the world's polar bears who live here?
Throwing them all out nice and early.
But there are only like 6, aren't there?
Okay.
Taxi from the airport to the hotel. Hoping to have those clear skies to see the northern lights. Here at the hotel, and you can see right here, really interesting, everyone has put their shoes in this storeroom, and apparently this is a tradition from when there were mines here, and all the mining workers would take off their shoes, probably so that they didn't make their cabins dirty. They keep that tradition until today, so luckily got some slippers there. What do you reckon?
I don't know, my mind's just overwhelmed with everything going on.
It's got brain freeze. They're just gonna get worse. A rather quaint little town. Seen our first polar bear. Very much liking the apartment where we're staying. Right in the town centre. Exploring Svalbard town centre. And there is a shop. And in England you see signs outside of shops like no smoking, you know, no shoplifting, CCTV is watching you. Here it's no rifles, no snipers, you know. Guess that means that we're in a polar bear free zone. Or are we? Perfectly good supermarket and all the souvenirs as well. So it's not really out in the sticks in the way that you think, but here we are. Polar bear protection is quite important and they take it very seriously here. It's crazy, it's almost like a Walmart in Arizona. We ended up going for a flare gun. Hopefully we won't need it. We only have one shot to scare the polar bears if we do happen to see them. Svalbard, the most northern kosher restaurant that you will find.
And I'm the most northern Jewish chef.
It is nice here. Oh, thank you, Avromi. Look at this. There's only one bar we can find in Svalbard. And you might think, well, that means it's not a good standard because they've got no one to compete with. But how wrong are we? Look at this. I've never seen such a selection. Anything and everything, whiskey and more. Maybe it's the same one that the miners used to use and they had quite the appetite. Cheers, cheers. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Good morning, or shall I say good Svalbard morning, which doesn't look like much of a morning. It's pitch black, still as dark as it was when we went to sleep last night. This is what it looks like at 9:30. It is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. And we are going to be climbing up to the top of this mountain, all the way up past this mining factory, and then all the way up the mountain until we are literally leaning over the peak over there. Hopefully not too treacherous. There's no official routes that we know of, so make it up as we go along. There are more snowmobiles than people here. 3,000 people here. Those things on that mountain, I assume, is to stop avalanches. Got to cross this frozen over lake before we get to the path. Well, you don't do this every day. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. And like I said earlier, Svalbard is a town built because of the mining, all the old infrastructure, the old cable cars that would have carried the coal. And bring protection. This thing won't do much damage to a polar bear, but it will at least alert those who need to come and save us, hopefully. And make sure it's loaded as well. This has turned into a real rock climbing expedition. Avromi, how are you holding up?
Unbelievable!
Helloza racing ahead. He doesn't mess about. Whoa! There's your fall. Don't vlog and climb up mountains with snow on at the same time. Just wow. You've got to put this on your bucket list. Here at the top, There was a guy who told us at the bottom, don't bother coming if you have spikes. You don't have to be a professional climber, but you still need to have some grit, perseverance, and the right clothes. It's just unbelievable.
And the right guys. And the right guys.
And the right guys leading the way.
Let's go.
And we're gonna slide down. Could do with a sledge right about now. Here we go. Marco, nice to meet you. We're from Manchester. We see you with the gun and we know this is a real business. We've been to the top and we didn't realize that there might be polar bears and whatever, but ignorance is bliss, you know?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that have died of polar bears.
Wow.
So,
in this area?
Yeah.
Just arrived now at a really famous place here in Svalbard. It's the Svalbard Seed Vault, which you can see behind me there. Now that is an entrance. It's worth coming. It is an incredible concept. And the idea is to store seeds for produce from every corner of the globe. North Korea, you've got from America, you've got from Brazil, India, you name it. In case something ever happens to the world where all the food or some of the food gets obliterated, natural disasters, and we can come back here to Svalbard, which is nice and cold with infrastructure here, but not in the middle of a city where there could be a war where something bad could happen. This is just the entrance. It goes long, far underground. Really enjoy seeing these kind of things. And what a location to have it. And this is the airport right here. You can see the landing strip. Out exploring Svalbard again. And here we have two beautiful Svalbard reindeer. Beautiful, peaceful animals. Now we're just walking along the plains outside the city limits of Svalbard. We wanted to see something interesting, and huge frame with many different compartments storing many different types of dogs. We all brought all the luggage to this hotel. Take us to our next flight to Copenhagen. It's been so nice. Goodbye Svalbard Hotel. Gonna see what the next leg of the trip brings in Copenhagen for a very short trip. I've never been there and excited to see what we're gonna see. Let's go, boys. We are in Copenhagen, rushing to get the train, otherwise we will miss check-in at the hotel we are staying at. And guess what? We even plan on getting some tourism done around Copenhagen, even though we're flying in the morning. So squeezing every drop out of this trip, you know? Pulled straight onto the metro to Nijhaven in Copenhagen. See what we can see. We are on the train to sleep in our next country, Malmö in Sweden, which makes it how many countries today?
3. Svalbard, some people consider country, although I don't, so it might be 4.
We're going to go with 4 countries in about 6 hours. Here's the team. Avi departed us, went to London, where he lives. The adventure continues with Avrumi, Eloz and myself. I think we got away with it. Hello, Malmö. At the hotel, let us hope that we are allowed in. Luckily, there's someone here. In the hotel in Malmö, Sweden, and after traveling to 4 different countries today, it's been a blast, but let's get some sleep. Woke up an hour and a half late.
Harrison, hurry up, Harrison.
Our plane. And we're getting a coffee quickly. Might be mad. It's the Vikings. Don't know if you're allowed to say that. Looks like we definitely are allowed to say that. Get to check out Malmö, have a look around, 1 minute's worth of tourism. Train delayed, taxi it is. We'll have about 35 minutes to get onto the plane, hopefully. Going across famous bridge, connecting Sweden to Norway. We made it through, and I'm pretty sure it was worth getting the taxi. You don't want to leave too much to risk. Okay, so what is Denmark known for? Their best export, probably. That's right, it's Lego. And they are milking it, rightfully so. Bye-bye, Scandinavia. It has been nice. Off the plane, back in Manchester. Avromi Alaza, I'll catch you later.
I'll see you on the next trip next week. Sunday morning we're leaving.
It's been emotional, guys. It's been emotional. Bit of time to reflect and just to think about how amazing that trip was. I recommend to anyone wanting to do a 3 or 4 day trip, you can cover pretty much the whole of Scandinavia and the magical wonderland of Svalbard, which I showed you. Until next time, I'll see you later.